While I figure this out, thoughts on building a company specifically for affiliate SEO like Matt Diggity? I like it. Didi, as a quick follow up to that too, do you mean servicing clients who do affiliate SEO, or like give me a little bit more context there? But either way, I like it. I mean, Matt's obviously very successful. He's become the go-to dude or guy or gal or person, I should say. It's for anything affiliate SEO. He's done a very, very nice job building that company. I think there's a lot of opportunity there for sure. I think there's actually a lot of opportunity for agencies to specifically work with affiliates when it comes to affiliate SEO. I think it's a very underserved market. What's up, Kyle? I think it's also an underserved market though because of how hard it is to do. So if you're going to do it, you got to make sure that you can get results. And the other challenge with that too, it's kind of like working with software companies. Like one of the challenges of working with software companies as an agency is that they're very data driven. They're very intelligent. They know their numbers and they're expecting you to hit them. It's very similar with affiliates because affiliates got into the game knowing some sort of marketing tactic very well, probably going to be SEO. So they are going to have certain levels of expectations about growth that you need to hit in order for them to make money because they make all their money off of traffic. So it can be very challenging. DD just replied, seems like he builds his own sites and then flips them for 3 to 4x profit. He does. He also takes on, I believe he takes on investors. He or invests in existing websites and does it. It's a good model if you can get it to work. Matt's obviously a very good affiliate SEO. I am probably one of the worst affiliate SEOs. I've never been able to make any money off of affiliate marketing. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask about it. But Matt has a very good system for doing that. So if that's something that you are well versed in, if you're good at doing affiliate marketing and if you're good at doing affiliate SEO, then absolutely do it. You got my blessing and support. Anyone got any more questions? Just go ahead and fire them away in the chat. I'll be here for about 30, 45 minutes talking, depending on how many people join and how many people want to join in on us here. So while I'm waiting for the next question to come in, let me just kind of go back to what I was talking about before. I'm unable to share my screen here, unfortunately. I want to show you this process document that I'm working on. But basically, Caesar Kobo, who's director of our agency's operations, he's also a partner. We were just reviewing our process for client delivery. It's also hyper relevant because I'm working on version 2.0 of the blueprint training. Ding, ding, ding. And I want to make sure that the process is tight and it's reflective of what we're doing now. And a few things actually kind of came up as we were going through it. Number one is the fact that your process should always be being worked on. It's never done. I've been doing this for 12 years now, and I've always had processes. And the fact that 12 years in, I'm still going back and refining our processes, stripping away waste. And when I say stripping away waste too, you guys are going to be kind of shell shocked when I show you what we're going to be rolling out in Blueprint version 2.0, because we're probably getting rid of 75% of the templates and the content in there. And the reason is because they're useless. When we talk about doing things, not useless, right? They have a purpose. They work, and especially for some clients. But again, at the end of the day, when we talk about why a client hires us to do marketing, to do SEO, to do Facebook, whatever it is that we do for them, they want the result. They don't care about the deliverables. They don't care about a keyword gap analysis. They don't care about a website quality audit. Those are cool selling points, right? When you can tell people that you've got some really cool stuff that you do, you can get people a little bit excited, maybe make it a little bit easier to close contracts. But at the end of the day, you're going to be judged on the results that you drive, not based on the deliverables that you send them or the tactics that you preach. So what we're doing is we're going back and we're stripping down, and we're really looking at a much more simplified system that allows us to do the work a lot faster, a lot easier, and a lot more effective, and get more profitable doing so, and deliver better results for clients. Because if we're doing actually less work on a daily basis in terms of busy work and massive amounts of keyword research and spreadsheet work, what are we able to do? We're able to spend more time with our clients. We're able to spend more time working with them, coaching with them, helping them with other elements of their business, and ultimately adding more value and tacking on more things that we can sell them as well to make more money and extend the lifetime value of that client. So I got some questions coming in. I'll come back to this when things dry up. Umair asked, how about creating an army of VA and assisting other agencies, making a process on automations? You just focus on core development operations, dealing with agency owners. I like it. There's actually somebody who only services blueprint agencies. I think it's pretty smart. He was doing it without paying for the blueprint, so I made him pay for the blueprint, but now he has my permission to do so. He's somewhere in in Asia. I'm not sure where he is, don't want to misspeak, but basically what he does is he builds a local team there that's all trained on the Blueprint, and then he goes to Blueprint agencies, aka folks who are running on the Blueprint training, and he sells his services to them as VAs. So it's a business model that's been around for a while. A lot of people have attempted it or done it. I think it's a good business model, Umair. If you can figure it out, do it. Kyle, what's good, dude? You asked, what would define as the pillars for an agency focused on SMB local SEO? I think it would pretty much hinge a lot around GMB and ranking in the maps pack. The SERPs when it comes to, like, if you're searching for like a plumber. Actually, funny story. Yesterday, I'm a proud homeowner, and Robin's the one. Umair, just FYI, sorry. Yesterday, this week, my wife and I went on vacation. We went to Tulum, Mexico. It was amazing, by the way, if anyone's curious. And when we got back, our air conditioning was not working and our plumbing was backed up. And we got our air conditioning fixed, which was cool. We actually have an HVAC person, so I didn't need to go to Google for that. But the overnight, basically what happened was our pipes got so backed up that they overflowed. So our showers overflowed. We had disgusting water all over our bathroom floors, and it was an emergency. So the first thing I did was went to Google and searched for a plumber, emergency plumber, and I just went through the maps pack and I was calling everyone on the maps pack. So I think when it comes to local SEO, it starts and ends with the maps pack, because getting a website to rank in the organic listings, it's just not, I would never click on those. It's just too slow of an experience, right? So I think part one, Kyle, is really understanding what vertical you're servicing, right? And this is, again, why positioning is so important, because you want to be working with a similar type of client, because there's a drastic difference between a home contractor, a roofer, an HVAC person, a plumber versus an attorney, right? For context for that too, if we're talking about local SEO for an attorney ranking for Miami legal attorney, then somebody's probably going to want to go to the website and they're going to want to look around. They're going to want to see your cases. They're going to want to see your attorneys. They're going to see what is exactly that you do. Versus, again, a plumber where it's like, I don't need to see anything. I see your reviews. That's enough for me to pick up the phone and call. So I think it starts there, Kyle, is understanding who it is that you're servicing and the nature of that search and who is behind that search and what they're using the search for. And then understanding if that's going to be more of a GMB focus, or if it's going to be more of a SERP focus, or if it's going to be maybe an ad focus, right? One of the things that we push our clients a lot in Platinum is to understand that it's not about what we do, it's about what the customer needs and about what the market is dictating. So in some senses, your service might need to incorporate ads or something along those lines. So the pillars, I can't answer that for you. I'm just trying to get your thought process going on how you can answer that question for yourself. Okay. Drop me a comment, Kyle, if that helped out. What's up, Bobby? You said, hey, Ryan, why don't you make your own comprehensive SEO platform with your SEO tools instead of using sheets or templates for clients? For what? It's a waste of time and money. Sheets work just fine for us. And we are not a software company. We are a high ticket coaching consulting company. And that's where we make our money. The margins are great. I am not a software developer. I don't want to go down that route. We look at things as like, also on top of that, I don't want to compete with an Ahrefs or SEMrush. I'd rather build a relationship with them. I'm doing a webinar for SEMrush next week. They're putting like $50,000 in ad spend into that webinar to promote it, to get my face and name out there. I would much rather do that and focus on doing what I do best, which is working with people, coaching people, and working with clients, servicing clients and getting results. We have a software company, David runs it. If I'm being honest, it's been an uphill battle. So we have been developing something, but when I look at, we always got to be honest with ourselves. When I take a step back and look at the revenue that we're doing at Blueprint, which is going to cross, 250 grand this month, the revenue that we're doing at the agency, which is also 6 figures a month, versus how much time and energy we've invested into software, which still hasn't paid off yet. Not saying that it won't. I stick to my lane. I stick to what I do best. Sheets at the end of the day too, when you work in Ahrefs and you need to do additional work, where does the data end up? It ends up in Sheets. I think it's a very fair question. Something I get asked a lot. It's something I get pitched a lot too. We've gotten pitched multiple times for software companies to come in and take our sheet system and turn it into software, but it doesn't excite me. I want to focus and the other thing too is that when we look at software, right, Ahrefs can only charge so much per month. People are just going to get to a point where they're just not going to pay anymore. But when it comes to coaching, consulting, and client services, if I'm able to impact your business, I can charge as much as I want. It's not tied to anything. It's tied to the value that I can create. That's the type of space I want to operate in. I want to sell $1 million contracts. I want to sell one contract for $1 million, and I want to sell 10 of those a year, as opposed to, 100,000 pieces of software where then I've got, support issues and, constant upgrades and the constant FOMO of other people launching updates. I've thought about it a lot. I've tried it, but I know what I'm good at. I know who I am. I know where I'm going, and this is what we do. So let me know if that helped out, Bobby. If you have any follow-up questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. What's good, Josh? Will current Blueprint members get access to the new version, and will both versions exist in our dashboard? Great question. Yes, you will get. We're gonna basically what we're planning right now is it'll be the current version of the Blueprint training. Will be the new title will be the Blueprint training legacy version. You will retain access to all that, all the templates, all the tools. And don't get me wrong, everything in there is still great. 2.5 years later, it still works. So everything will remain the same, untouched. You will have lifetime access to that as well. And then you will also get access to the new version. We're going to, right now, calling it Blueprint Training 2.0. I will say this, if any of you have not bought in yet, we will be raising the price to $7,500 for the Blueprint training, and then very soon after that up to $10,000 as well. So if any of you are on the fence about getting the Blueprint training right now, which is currently a $5,000 price point, it's only going to go up from here. So if you buy in now, you'll have, as always promised, we love our customers, and we want to make sure that you guys are always taken care of and that you're always continuously getting the best information possible. That's really a large reason for this too, is that the training program, over time, things change. And we want to make sure that we're constantly feeding you the most up-to-date information that we possibly can to make sure that y'all are always winning at the highest level. So let me know if that was good for you. Milan asked, hi, do you think the current strategy module can be further improved? Respect. I don't know if that means respect. You may have some ideas we can use in content creation that I'm not mentioning in the module. Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing too, for context, Milan, like when you're creating a training, there's a certain level of generalness that you have to keep in mind, because, there's agencies of different levels. There's people working with different types of clients. So there's only so specific that we can make it, right? A lot of what our goal here is, and what I hope a lot of you see, is that we're trying to influence the way that you think. We're trying to help you we're trying to empower you to solve these problems on your own. We're giving you everything that you need, but at the end of the day, if you're completely reliant on outside IP or a training program to run your business, it's not a good place to be in. So a lot of what we try and do is working more on high level thinking as opposed to deep detailed tactics, because the deep detailed tactics are always going to change, right? There's always going to be new tools. There's always going to be algorithm updates. But if I can empower you to think through these problems on your own, then, you're going to be super happy with what we've created, and you're also going to be willing to pay more for that, right? So that's kind of our way of thinking here, Milan, is that we'll be updating it to the content strategy that we're using now. And the other kind of pitch off the back of that too is, if you want our most up-to-date stuff, you got to get into Platinum, because we work one-on-one in real time with you. So our Platinum clients are getting access to the exact ad strategies that we're using right now, the exact content strategies that we're using right now, how our team is working through. We're literally sharing our team meetings in there, because people want to see how we run our team, how we think through problems. So the Blueprint training is always going to be a training-based product. And unfortunately, training just decays. It's just what it is, because things change pretty quickly. So if you're really, really interested in the most cutting-edge stuff that you see us doing right now, that's driving hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in revenue for our companies, then you got to get into Platinum, because we'll be able to not only present those to you, but we'll be able to ask questions about your business, and we'll be able to help you understand how to customize these strategies for your business. Milan, let me know if that helped with that response. Nishant asked, are there any plans to include modules on automated Serp analysis and entity extractions? No, that's not what we do here. I'll say this, I just kind of piggybacking off of what I just said from Milan too, is that I don't really have an interest in getting into that nitty gritty of a training. The reason is because it's constantly changing. There's plenty of other people talking about that stuff who are doing that too. Again, what I'm trying to influence the people who come into our ecosystem and trust us to lead and guide and coach and teach is that I want you to be constantly thinking about the next step, and the next step being bigger. If you've been doing this for 5, 10, 15 years and you're still thinking about the nitty gritty tactics, you're only going to make so much money out of your business. That's just a fact, because you can only charge so much for it. What I want to really influence is strategy, problem solving, ways that we can constantly be helping clients, ways that we can constantly be staying ahead of the market, because tactics are always going to change, man. I can make a video for it if you wanted to, but 2 weeks later, not only is it probably going to be expired, but there's going to be 20 people that are like, oh, blah, 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 this is different, this is wrong. Like, it's not spelled canonical, it's spelled canonical. Like, I just have no interest in doing that type of work anymore. And I'm trying to take you guys along with the journey, because hopefully you guys see that my journey and my path and our company's growth, and how we started, not doing anything. And like I said, we're hopefully going to push $500,000 a month in revenue this year, and we're not getting here by talking about keywords, and we're not getting here by talking about tools, and we're not getting here by talking about tactics. We're getting here by strategy, and execution, and good business acumen, and people. And it's a lot of these things that a lot of the SEO industry is focused on are like what I like to call a race to the bottom. It's just not a business that we're interested in being in. So when it comes to the blueprint training, Nishant, we will always be providing you with tactics and strategies that work, but we're always looking at making those evergreen, right? Because at the end of the day too, you're talking about automated SERP analysis and entity extractions. You can figure that out on your own. If you know how to, like, if I can teach you the core of the strategy and the core of the tactic, that's evergreen. Like, I'd rather teach you how to fish and then again empower you to think these through yourself, right? Again too, like, we're trying to teach something and build something here that's business strategy, and it's a solid, amazing service that we can offer to clients. And these are the nuances that I want you to add on to it, right? Like, I'll teach you how to do keyword research. I'll give you the template, but I want you to make that your own. You are smart on your own right. You are an amazing SEO and business person in your own right. I want you to shine that through and take what we give you and take it to the next step. A perfect example of that is someone like Skylar Reeves. Skylar came in with very little SEO experience, and we taught him SEO, but now he's taken what we've done and put it on steroids. And now he's got $1 million business on his hands in he saw what we were doing, and he had the vision and the foresight to say, okay, like, a lot of this information, like, keyword research is commoditized. Like, everyone in the SEO space knows how to do keyword research. So how can you put your own flair and your own spin on it that will make it yours, and it's going to help drive your business forward? So let me know if that helped, Nishant. That lengthy response that probably had nothing to do with what you were looking for. Micah asked, when it comes to local SEO, it feels like rankings are constantly fluctuating, and it can be hard to consistently rank for the keywords that we're targeting. Is there any particular strategy that you can recommend to combat that? There's nothing we can do about that. Kind of just piggyback on what I said, Micah, is that, at the end of the day, we're building a house on rented property here. This is a whole nother kind of gripe that I have with the SEO industry. Not you, Micah, just the SEO industry in general, like constantly complaining to Google. And I'm not saying that you're complaining, so please don't take it that way. But constantly complaining to and about Google for changes that they make to the platform that they built and that they own. Because at the end of the day, Google is just trying to build the best product for searchers. They don't give a shit about SEO. So at the end of the day, like I said, we're building a house on rented property that we don't own. And we have this expectation that Google owes us something and the world owes us something, and it doesn't. It's a life lesson that we should all own. The world owes us nothing. We got to go out there and take it for ourselves. So there's always going to be certain uncertainties that we just have to learn to live with and deal with. And the best advice that I can have for you, Micah, is that your question actually has nothing to do with SEO tactics and has everything to do with managing expectations. So if you're doing this for a client, part of your job is to help them understand and explain to them why these things fluctuate, right? Get ahead of that and tell them that during the sales process, tell them that during the onboard process, tell them that during the strategy process, that we're working in an algorithm that's driven by machines. Even Google engineers don't know what it's going to do. So fluctuations are a part of the game, right? And at the end of the day, you are going to do everything in your power to put them in the best position to succeed, right? So again, I know I'm giving you guys a lot of answers that have nothing to do with tactics, but I'm doing this on purpose because I want you to understand that tactics come and go, right? Like Micah, for example, I could have been like, oh yeah, do this, build 3 links to this page here, and then go get citations here. But like, you don't know if that's going to work in 2 weeks. What I'm trying to give you is a strategy that's going to help you run your business better and build thought processes, build problem solving skills, that whether you're working with a client or whether you're working in-house, if you're the in-house SEO, then you need to be communicating that to the people on top of you, the people that resetting expectations is something that we always have to be doing, especially in this space because it's so volatile. Let me know if that helped, Micah. I can give you some more follow-ups on that as well. Dee said, would love to see a year 2 review for the blueprint. We filmed one, but then we went through a bunch of changes. I'll definitely get some more content out because we've done some really amazing things here. I'm actually super proud of the team here that we built that has nothing to do with me. People like Ann, people like Elena, people like Alan, and all the people like Brendan, some of the new coaches that we've gotten in here. They're amazing people and they're doing amazing things and they're taking this company to places that I never thought it could be. When we first started this company, it was another SEO training company. I can't tell you how many people will comment on my ads. Oh, and still do, just nonstop hate about spam, about training products being stupid and a waste of time and a waste of money. And why am I doing this? Blah, blah, blah. And here we are 2.5 years later with a business that is hopefully going to do like 3 million in revenue this year. And, aside from the money, the impact that we have, like the fact that it's the middle of a Friday and you guys are showing up here to ask questions is amazing. Like, we built an amazing community here. We're providing value. So we will definitely provide more content on the growth of this company, Dee. But for right now, I'm heads down on Blueprint version 2.0. It's definitely the biggest rock that I need to get out for all of you because all of you are going to benefit from it drastically. Ryan, how big is the Platinum group currently? I think there's 20 folks in there, give or take, Platinum folks. We've been selling a lot more Blueprint trainings, actually. So we built a sales team. Alan heads up our sales team. If any of you spoke to him, he's awesome. He's also one of the sales coaches in the Blueprint training, Blueprint Platinum. So a lot of folks, the recommendations that we have is to hire a salesperson. If you're still selling at if you're doing less than 25K a month, I get it. But once you get to the 50K a month or up, you got to hire a salesperson. If not before. At Weber's, we hired a salesperson when we were doing like 30K a month, and it helped us get to 100. So, he's one of our sales coaches there. We're just at the point now where I'm not pushing Platinum that hard. And honestly, if any of you guys are thinking about joining Platinum, now's the time because this is when I'm the most involved. And this is when the group is smaller, so you get a lot more time and attention with us. And I think if you ask anyone who has joined Platinum, they'll tell you the same thing. It's an amazing program. We're really able to work one-on-one with clients and again, not focus on tactical things. If you want to talk about algorithm updates, that's fine. We're here to talk about whatever you want and help you with whatever you want. But like what we're really help you to do is unclog your pipes, both mentally and then also at your business, to focus on things that really matter and to help you step into being a true CEO at your agency. Whether you're doing $1,000 a month or $1 million a month, helping you to build a business that you love running, and that doesn't weigh you down and that you want to wake up every day and work on, or that you can take 2 weeks off just like I did. And, for context, I went on vacation and then I came back and I got sick. I ended up in the hospital for a whole day because I got food poisoning. And I didn't have access to my computer for like a week and a half, and the business didn't. Or it took 4 days what we were doing in 2 months, 2 years ago. So it's pretty awesome to see that. And that has nothing to do with me, right? It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with people. So these are the types of things that will help you work through and coach you with one-on-one and really get you into an ecosystem of amazing people. Like I said, we're kind of slow growing it. I'm not pushing it too hard because I really want to get a feel for the people, their needs, and the flow and the coaching system and all this different stuff. So now's the best time for you guys to join if you're on the fence about it. Reese asked, hey Ryan, just diving into the system and loving it. Do you have any of your overseas people actually sign into a client's website, like say for on-page SEO? If so, how do you handle the fact that someone is signing to a client site from overseas? If they are not signing in directly, what would the deliverable look like? Just copy and paste for the code of the page. So Reese, I'm going to ask you a quick follow-up here if you just want to reply. What type of clients are you working with? Do you have a position? Do you work with a specific type of clients? Because my answer will depend on this. I can tell you for us personally, we don't go into people's websites. You can't pay me enough to do that. It's so much time and effort to go into somebody's WordPress website and optimize content. The way that our agency service works is that we put together a content brief, which is exactly what's in the blueprint training. We literally use that exact same template. We put that together and we send it to the client. And we're like, here, this is your responsibility. Now, I say that but our agency has a very strong position. We've been in the market for a while. We get a lot of leads. We have a lot of authority, etc. Right? So we're able to play that authority role and be like, no, this is not what we're doing. You're going to do it. You're paying us to do the strategy and to do some of the execution work, but we are not patsies. We're not going to go in and do busy work for you. Like, if you don't have somebody that can work WordPress at your business, then you need to find someone, because it's 2021, man. Like, you need a website and you need somebody who knows how to manage it internally. So, okay, let me rephrase that, Reese, because that was kind of a dickhead comment. The conversation that you should be having with them is that if they are expecting you to go in, well, actually, let me take one step back. You should be setting the expectation during the sales process in your marketing that you're not going to be doing that. That's going to solve your problem right there. I could tell you all different sorts of different things about trusting offshore people, blah, 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 this and that, but like, just don't do it. Like, whenever you hit these points of massive friction in your business, there's an easier way to do it. And the easier way is to focus on what you do best, which is SEO work, which is strategy, right? It will probably take you twice as much time to go into a website and to make the changes than to just do it in a document. Like, provide them what they need in a document, make the changes that they need in a Word doc, go back, review our content brief system. It's exactly what we do. It works for both content, like blog content, but then also like landing pages, So that's kind of my advice to you there, is that while you're going through the sales process, you need to make sure that they understand that you're not going to be like, what your role and responsibility is and what you're going to be delivering to them, and then what they have to do on top of that, right? So again, for us, and we're moving way more to this model too, we're moving way more to this coaching and strategy model, because one, there's way more money in it, right? And the people and when you shift your position to do this, you're also going to attract people who have someone that can do it for you and that don't want you to go into their website, right? Like, a lot of our clients, like, don't want us to go into, like I think about my website, like, our website generates this much money. Like, I don't want an agency going in, even if they're local down the street. Like, I don't want you going to my website, because you don't know my website. It's a custom build. I don't need you in there mucking around and doing things that, you're not comfortable doing. So, for context, I understand that, like, just based off this comment, you're probably working with small businesses. You're probably working directly with the business owner who doesn't have these people for you, who doesn't have the person to do that. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Here's my advice. Number one is start thinking about the next steps to stop working with those types of people, because they're never going to pay you enough money for your expertise, and they're just going to create more work for you, and it's going to cause you headaches. You're going to get stuck into that typical agency relationship where you're doing way more work than you're getting compensated for, and you're going to question every day if this is the type of business that you want to run. So you need to be thinking about the next steps in terms of not working with those types of clients anymore. That's something that we can help you out in Platinum, by the way. Number two is charge for it. If you're stuck in a situation then too where they're like, well, Reese, like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, I don't have anyone to do it. I don't even know how to work WordPress website. Like, my cousin set it up, and like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I hate everything about the internet, and, I wish I could go back to 1970 and whatever. I've worked with those people too, so I get it. Then just be like, hey, look, it's going to take us an additional 10 hours to do this. So, and just be honest with them. Be like, look, it's going to take 10 hours for us to do this. If you want to pay me to do this, or somebody local, like, our rate's $100 an hour. It's going to cost you $1,000 for us to update this. You don't want that. The other option is for us to go and hire a VA or use one of our offshore teams, offshore people. Just be honest with them and just be like, and we'll only charge you $20 an hour for that. But like, it's the bottom line is that twofold. Number one, you got to pay us to do this because it's a lot of extra work. And number two, it's probably gonna have to be somebody offshore. And number three, if they are the type of person in 2021 who does not believe in offshore outsourced work, or believes that for whatever reason, wherever they are is somebody from another country is not capable of going into them, and at the same time, then they're just not a great person. And at the same time too, it's hugely ironic if you think about it, that like somebody who's going to require you to do it because they don't know how to, or they don't have somebody else, is going to have a problem with somebody else who knows how to do it going in and doing it. Did you see what I'm saying? All of these things where I'm getting, Reese, there's a huge bug. That was gross. Live in Miami. It's like the freaking jungle out here. Basically where I'm going with this, Reese, is that, again, I'm giving you as much ammo and tactics as I possibly can, but at the end of the day, this is this is a client positioning, and this is the type of problems that you want to be thinking about in terms of how can I not work with these type of people anymore? How can I work with companies who have somebody who's dedicated to working on their website? How can I work with someone who wants to pay us for our knowledge and strategy, not to pay us a set fee per on-page worked on, right? Getting away from that conversation of, it's cliche, it's like time for money, time for deliverable, not conversations we want to be in. We want to be in conversations about impact, right? We want to pay with people who understand that if they pay us 50 grand, then they're going to see 150 grand in traffic that in the coming months, right? And it has nothing to do with how much work that we do. It has everything to do with us being able to implement our work and working with them to get the work implemented as well. Reese, drop me a comment if that helped out. That was a very long-winded response. Again, I'm giving a lot of responses here that are not the direct responses to the questions. Ooh, all right. You guys have any more questions? I've been on here for 32 minutes, covered a good amount of ground. I'll give you guys another 30 seconds to pop in some questions. If not, I'll shut it down. You can hear in my voice, I'm pretty worn out. Like I said, I spent a day in the hospital from vomiting from food poisoning. I'm still getting my voice back. But I love doing these Facebook Live events, especially for folks that are not in the blueprint, just so you can get a taste for how we work over here, for the types of things that we like to talk about, the types of things that I like to push you to focus on. Because at the end of the day, I truly believe that you can go learn SEO anywhere. You can go learn tactics anywhere, and you could probably learn them better at other places too. There's certain things that we do very well, like our website quality audit, things like that. But we are here to influence bigger thought processes. We're here to influence problems. We're here to turn you guys into leaders and gals into leaders. We are here to help you build businesses. We are not here to help you learn tactics, because at the end of the day, I've said it before and I'll say it again, tactics are a race to the bottom, right? People are only going to be willing to pay so much for a tactic. They're only going to be willing to pay so much for a link, right? I can teach you how to do link building, but if you're charging, whatever per link, then you're always going to be tied to whatever that market cost is per link. A lot of people don't want to pay more than $200 per link, so you're stuck trying to figure out how you can get links cheaper. Not the type of business you want to be running, is it? No, it's not. So for context for that too, like these are the things that we deal with every day at our agency. Right now we charge $350 per link, but we're already at the point where we're like, let's just not do this anymore. Like, why are we doing this? Why don't we just instead present the client with 3 very simple link opportunities that they should be able to do themselves? Number one, so we only work with B2B companies, right? So when it comes to B2B link building, right? Put yourself in that state of mind for a second. When it comes to B2B links, what type of links should a B2B company be getting on their own? They should be doing their own podcast outreach. They should need somebody in the company who is going to be a voice, who can go out and get featured on podcasts, who can be a good guest for PR, right? So podcast number one, we can easily teach them how to do that. Hey, go to Google, search for podcasts. Hey, go to this podcast platform, search for podcasts, find their email and send them the same pitch over and over again. Super easy. That in itself, how much is that worth if you think about it? If you can teach a company how to get on podcasts, 3 podcasts a month, right? How much would that link be worth if you were to charge for it? $1,000? We just saved that company 50 grand. And we help them to bring equity internally, right? Without doing anything, by basically providing the slide doc and having 2 Zoom calls with them to train them on it, right? That's number one. Number two would be something like, okay, like we need you, again, playing off of that, being a voice and a leader in your space, right? Because if you want to run a B2B company, you've got to, really helps to be a thought leader. It really does. And thought leadership comes through content. So podcasts is a great way to display that. What's another great one? Blogging, right? There are a ton of really high authority websites in your space, Carl, that are looking for content. Like, you have a writer, right, Carl? Yeah, we have a writer, Ryan. All right, well, here's what you do. Go to Google, type in contractors write for us, because you're a contractor, Carl, right? Yeah, I'm a contractor. Okay, well, have your writer just go down this list of Google and just submit different pitches for content to write for their website. Send 5 pitches a month. You're going to get 2 posts live. We just help them get 5 really high quality links per month without charging anything on a cost per link. How much can we charge for that, right? Think about that for a second. If we're going to help them get 5 links per month, that's 60 links per year of the highest quality links that no vendor can get. How much is that worth, right? And then on top of that, we're also helping them bring equity internally, right? This is another big thing that we want to be pushing on companies is, hey, reduce your reliance on outside help. You need to own some of this internally. It's 2021. The internet runs the world. If you are not doing things on the internet, your business will become obsolete. You cannot rely on everyone's outside help to do everything for you. So we're going to help bring that internally, right? So that's two things, right? Podcast links, guest post links. And then, okay, well, you know what? You can also use us to supplement links. You're going to pay us $3.50 per link. We'll do 3 to 5 links per month. Easy. And that's how we're going to do it, right? So what I'm trying to give you guys here again is just more insight about how we think through problems here and how we get out of this rat race and this race to the bottom that this industry is and is continuing to become, where everyone is just doing the same thing over and over and over again and charging less and less and less and getting less and less clients, less and less attention, less and less results. I want to empower you all to think differently. I want to empower you to think about things that are going to actually help the client and impact them, and not get stuck in the situation where there's so much friction, right? There's a saying, and I truly believe it. It's, the only way out is through, right? When I was sick and I was feeling really sick in the hospital, I was thinking to myself, look, the only way I'm going to get out of this stuff, I'm going to get through this. I got to pass this bug, right? That's the right mindset there. But when it comes to business, when you're facing a lot of friction, there's always another way, right? You just got to think about it. So that's what the Blueprint Training, the Blueprint Platinum is all about. And where we're going with this is that we're not here to just continuously preach tactics that everyone else is talking about on blog posts, man. It's super annoying, right? Everyone's just writing about the same shit. There are companies out there right now that are writing about stuff that we wrote about 4 years ago. It's like, really? This is what we're still talking about? Like, who gives a shit, No, like, we're here to grow businesses. We're here to impact people's businesses. We're here to help our clients grow. We're here to build teams. We're here to empower people. We're here to have an impact. We're here to do something that we love every single day. And a lot of this other stuff is just white noise and semantics. So I got no more questions here. I always like to end these with a little rant like that. I'm glad you guys all showed up. I really appreciate your time and attention as always. I'm going to sign off. So we will let you know when we're going to do another one of these. Probably going to start doing at least one of these every other week, if not every week. I'm going to get some of our other coaches like Brendan Hufford involved. For those of you who do want more on SEO tactics, I'm not the right person to ask because I haven't done SEO in a couple of years, but we'll be getting Brendan in here to take a deeper look with some of your actual SEO problems. I'm more here for the business strategy side of things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment below if you did. Let me know. And again, thank you all for your time and attention as always. And I'll see y'all another time. Peace out.